Hello, hello! Welcome to another edition of the Hokey video blog on this Saturday night. Yes, this is the first time you've seen me on a Saturday night here at Wave 3 News. So good to see you. Hope you're having fun on this last weekend of 2013. Can you believe it's already here? Well, with the flu widespread, I'm sipping the green tea right now, drinking soup and all sorts of stuff. Don't have the flu, don't want it. Got my flu shot already, and hope you did too, because a lot of folks are getting, a lot of people I know have gotten the flu, and certainly with the cold weather coming over the next few days and people huddling up inside, that might get more of a widespread status with folks contacting each other. So that's not good news there. But for snow lovers, while we don't have any big storms in the forecast, there's a couple items of note that we certainly want to talk about here over the next few minutes. Let's show you the current picture across the United States. You'll see, obviously, the big old slug of rain associated with an area of low pressure over the Gulf states right now. That'll be moving off toward the north and the east over the next few hours. And we've got a second feature. You kind of see this band of clouds right here, pretty much from Denver to Minneapolis on up into portions of Canada. This is going to be the reinforcing shot of cold air that we see Sunday night into Monday morning. Now, some of this cold air, as it's coming in, could inspire some snow shower activity. I'll show you that here in just a second. Show you the big picture, though, with the rain in terms of what it looks like across the southeast. Yeah, rain's starting to intrude into some of our southern counties now, just south of the parkways. So we go throughout the mid-evening hours, say 9, 10 o'clock. That'll make its way on up to Louisville. We've got some drier air up here right now, so some of this may not be reaching the ground so much, but as we moisten up the lower atmosphere, certainly we will be seeing the rain as we go throughout the overnight hours. How much rainfall? Well, if you live south of Louisville, probably about a half inch or so. Folks near Columbia and Adair County, you guys might pick up somewhere over 3/4 of an inch. That'll probably be the heaviest total that we do see here in Kentucky. And then folks in southern Indiana, well, you're going to see a whole lot of nothing in some places, and then some places could pick up maybe 1/10 of an inch up to, looks like about 1/3 of an inch there in Corydon. So it depends on where you live. If you live in southern Indiana, not a whole lot of rain. If you live in southern Kentucky, well, it doesn't look like a flooding event, but certainly a pretty sizable portion of rain over the next 24 hours. Let's time this out for you here. So we go throughout your Sunday at 5 a.m., area low pressure hovering over the Carolinas down into Georgia at that point. We've got rain in the area still. You'll notice how southern Indiana still not being too impacted by the heavier stuff off towards southeast Kentucky near Richmond and Berea and that area down there. As we advance this forward just a little bit, you'll notice we still got a little slug of rain in there around 1 o'clock, but I think pretty much we'll be dry by the time we go into the afternoon hours. We'll keep the cloud cover for at least the early portion of the afternoon. Might see a brief break, a little bit of sunshine as we go throughout the afternoon portion of Sunday, and I don't think that'll be a huge break in the clouds, so a mostly cloudy day. But then you saw some of those white dots. You see them there in eastern Kentucky. Snow showers, flurries coming in with this next system with all the cold air coming in. And how cold is this going to be? Well, a lot colder than what we've been seeing lately for sure. And a lot of folks are wondering, how much snow are we going to get? We'll talk about that in just a second. But as we go throughout the day on your Monday, the main batch of clouds clears out of here and we start to see some clearing across the area. I think we'll see some sunshine as we go throughout the middle portion of your Monday into your Monday afternoon, certainly. The NAM model, picking up just a little bit of snowfall, about 1/10 of an inch east of Louisville at this point, and I think this is actually performing pretty well. The reason being because you have a higher elevation over here. No mountains, of course. Mountains are well far eastern Kentucky. But you do get this gentle sloping as you go towards Shelbyville, Frankfort, Lexington, and that helps to enhance the snow shower activity. You'll know that sometimes Lexington scores on some of these snow events, and Louisville gets not as much. And the reason is because of the elevation. It forces the air upward. When you get that upward motion in the air, it creates a whole lot more snow. So that's why they sometimes see more snow than we do here in Louisville. I don't think this is going to be a big deal. It looks like a coating to maybe a dusting of snow in some places, especially where you do see the light blue outline here that the NAM is depicting. May cause a few travel issues as we go into your Monday early morning, but I think this is going to be so small and such a quick hitting system that it should be okay. I'm more concerned about right now the fact that we may have just a little bit of water on roadways as we go throughout your Monday morning from Sunday morning's rain. Now, with the winds kicking up, that'll help to dry out the roads for the most part, but if you've got a little pond of water or two on the roadways, it might freeze because this cold air coming in will definitely pack a punch as we go throughout your early portion of your Monday. So, the Monday morning event, the takeaway from this, not a huge deal, but if we do see a heavier band of snow or two try to develop in this, somebody could pick up a quick half inch, maybe up to an inch in spots, but really more of a coating to dusting scenario for most of us here in Kentuckiana. All right, here's this crazy map again. This is called vorticity. This is basically the amount of spin in the atmosphere. And why we look at this is it depicts where these disturbances are aloft, say at about 500 millibars, which is up there about 18,000 feet. And when you get areas of this spin in front of it is where you get some of that lift that helps create precipitation, or snow in this case. This is Monday at 2 o'clock, and you see we do have some vorticity pretty much lined up along the Ohio River from that disturbance still moving in with the cold air. So we might see a flurry, a snow shower or two, but I think most of the moisture will be flushed out by this time, and most of the lift will be off in well eastern Kentucky. So this is mostly a Monday morning event. Now to event number 2. This bad boy. Look at this thing. This is not a big deal in terms of a big snowstorm, but this is a pretty potent clipper system coming down from Canada and digging this trough right here. You see it delineated by that red color. This trough digs pretty deeply right over the mid-Mississippi Valley and then tracks on into Kentuckiana as we go throughout the early portion of your Thursday. All right, well, let's time this one out. Let's see what that does. You'll see it's up here in Canada, a little disturbance, got some of that green depicting that precipitation. We track it all the way down through the Great Plains. And what these little gray lines are, this is the vorticity that you just saw, so this is spin in the atmosphere. So you've got the trough starting to dig right here. Now, usually, and this is pretty good meteorology 102 lesson here for those folks wanting to learn a little bit about weather. When you get these areas of vorticity and these troughs, you'll get the lift in front of them. That's because you've got the area of spin in the atmosphere kind of stretching as it gets out into areas that aren't spinning so much. When you get that stretching, that causes lift, and that's where you can get precipitation. Well, right in front of this area, you've got that little green spot right there, which looks more impressive on some model views, but for demonstrative purposes, we'll just keep it like this. And so that's our clipper system. That's a little bit of snow over Kansas City. This is, note the time, by the way, Thursday at 12:30 a.m., and then this thing really digs in. You can see where that trough was before on the vorticity in front of it. Here's the precipitation with the clipper system. We are right in the max area of lift. This does not look to be a big snow system. As I said before, this is not a winter storm event yet. Of course, we're going to be keeping track of things. This looks like an advisory level event with these clippers. You kind of get a cap on how much snow you can get just by the nature of them. They don't have a lot of moisture with them. They move through pretty quickly. They're coming from a source region in Canada that's pretty dry, so that tends to dry out the atmosphere too. But if we can get a couple bands that set up, then certainly we could see a couple inches of snow out of this. And something else we'll be looking at are temperatures, because temperatures are going to be cold during this. This is not going to be an event where we're looking at being on the line between rain, snow, sleet, freezing rain, and all that jazz. The freezing line at 850 millibars, 5,000 feet, is going to be down here in Tennessee. And that's kind of a crucial height, that 850 millibar 0 degree Celsius line, because that's south of you, then you got a pretty good bet of seeing snow. Of course, you have to look at other column areas of the atmosphere too. So we'll be watching that potential. Look at the GFS model. It's painting about 1.1 inches, about 1 inch of snow if you don't count in the 0.1 inches of snow it counts in for the Monday morning event. But, around an inch or two of snow is possible. That would be the advisory level event. And, of course, we'll be watching to see if it can pick up some more moisture out in front of this system. But for now, that's what it looks like. So, something to kind of keep your appetites whetted for those snow lovers out there, since it's been kind of a dry period when it comes to snow over the last few days. Of course, we'll be keeping watch on things here on the Wave 3 News Storm Tracking Team. We'll be keeping you updated as we go throughout the week. For now, I'm meteorologist Ryan Hoke. Have a very great Saturday night.